Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time again. Iron Man does whatever an iron... No, wait. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time again. It is Iron Man. And today we are bringing you episodes 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. It's a bumper episode with lots and lots of right upper arm and shoulderness. Let's get on with it. So we'll start with magazine number 10 and the right shoulder joint. So let's scoot in nice and close. We have some friction pads which, to be frank, kind of look like thick masking tape cut into circles. I don't know, it might be something else. We've got a little bag with a couple of nuts and bolts, and I have a sneaking suspicion, in true DeAgostini fashion, I better use my brass tweezers, excuse me, try not to magnetise my watch tools. In true DeAgostini fashion, I have a sneaking suspicion we will be using one nut and one bolt, and oh, we've got two stuck together there. Which of course will leave us with a spare. We have got two bits that obviously go together like so. We have got a bit that obviously goes in the middle and two frictiony disc things with little tabs. So let's have a look. So friction discs on the smooth sides of these and on both sides of this. I'm just going to go ahead and do that and be back in a second. Here we are back with those stuck on. It's quite literally, as before, like peeling masking tape, sticking them on, and you get 8 discs, as you can see on that sheet, and we only need to use 4 at this current moment in time. So taking the left and right pieces, I'm just going to scoot this across here to show you what the magazine shows. Let's focus on that for you. And you can see there it highlights the little lines and how they interact. That's the lines on the back of these discs and how they interact by going under these square pieces here. These also these lines in the shoulder joint rather. So essentially we are looking at aligning these so that these lines go underneath like so, and likewise on this one I would imagine. Oops, this one actually has a little bit of a helping hand in that it goes over the protruding part, whereas this one just kind of sits there. So that bit's easy enough. Next thing is this fits, whoops, this fits on here, if I can stop dropping it, this fits on here like so, with this butting up to this part here, so you can see that gets full articulation there, but it butts up to there and stops. Obviously this bit then sits on top of that, making sure that that friction washer stays in place. And then maybe I'm psychic, maybe I have incredible powers of deduction, but I suspect the next step is to feed through one screw and to fit one hex bolt, which is going to be a little bit fiddly, so I'm going to tweak that into place with my tweezers. Come on, he says as he fumbles it. There we go. So let me just make sure that aligns. Does anything need to stick out to the bottom of that? It looks like something should stick out to the bottom of that. I guess we'll find out soon enough. So we will take our screwdriver, we'll try the supplied one at first. Yeah, that works quite well actually. And that's good, bit of tension there. Yeah, we like that. So that, I believe, as you can see from the explodificated diagram, that's that bit there, and that's where it locates to make the shoulder. And that's necessary, and I left that out of the last series because the last series we were doing the forearm. Now, in this series, we are, of course, doing the upper arm, the bicep area, which connects to the forearm, connects to this. The bicep connects to that. No, never mind. So yes, so that's that one. On to episode 11. Next up, episode 12, or magazine 12 rather, we have got a little H-shaped piece. We've got a couple of springs. Ooh, exciting. Obviously, these little hooky tabs here are where the springs go. One end of the springs go, and the other end, I as yet don't know, possibly onto this bit that we've just made. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll find out in a moment. We've got this bit, and we've got two of these bits, which are obviously, I am guessing, I say obviously, where I am obviously guessing, I suspect fit onto here and prettify that with nice shiny rounded ball jointy bits. So, we have a pack of HP screws. That's not HP like the HP sauce for you British viewers. We have 3 in there, oddly. Oh no, not oddly. That means we'll be using 2, of course, because they always give us at least 1 spare. So we'll get 2 of those out. HP because it's going into plastic, not because of the HP sauce. And oh, I see. And I'm just looking at the instructions, and the springs actually hook under the screw heads, which is why they have a sort of built-in washer, and then onto these bits. And we'll figure out the whys and wherefores of that in a moment. I think I can see looking at the instructions. There we go, marvellous. So the first thing we need to do is take the thing that we made in episode 10, this bit right here. We need to take one of the HP screws, thusly, and we need to hook one of the springs. Are they both different sized ends, or I think they're kind of much of a muchness, so we need to righty-ho. That's showing it so that the screw goes down into it like so. Sorry, I'm off the screen there. And then we screw that in. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but bear with me. Bear with me. Let me hold that while I do some tweakling. Come on now. There we go. That's it cutting its way in now. Marvellous. And then I'm guessing we do exactly the same on the other side. So to stop you getting immensely bored, I'm going to do that off camera and pop back in a second. The next exciting step, we take this bit here, which is actually metal. I thought this was plastic. We take this bit here, which I think is the same either way, I believe. I believe so. I don't know if it matters which way it goes, but I'm sure we will find out if it does. And then this slides onto here, and then these other ends of the spring, and I have elected to use the ones that are a bit more open for this bit. Come on now. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go, fit onto there like so. So clearly it's intended to allow this to slide up and down. I'm not sure why yet, but we will find out. I have no doubt. All will be revealed. Marvellous. And next, the cap-shaped bits go on. So we need does it matter which way these go on? I'm assuming it does. Ah, of course it does, of course it does. So these go on like this, and they go on in such a manner that they fit around the slidey metal thing that we've just put on. There we go. That's what those slots are for, of course. Smashing. That is a little bit grippy. It kind of grips onto the side of that a little, but I think that'll wear in. We'll see. I can always pop those off and adjust it at a later date if we have to do so. We are then left with that, with the boingy boingy bit, and that, which we have no instructions on what to do with yet. So logic says that's going to be in the next magazine, which is magazine 12, which we will be right back with in just a second. Magazine 12, we have got the right and left upper bicep, upper arm sections. We've got some little vinyl stickers, some EM screws, because we are screwing into metal. And we have a few of those. So we'll take out however many there is, put one back in the packet and put it over there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 EM screws. So I'm presuming we're going to be using 6, working on the typical assumption of having 1 spare. And exciting things, drum roll, prepare yourself, we get a new screwdriver. Ooh. I don't know why, but we do. But we get a new magnetised screwdriver. It's not quite as nice and exciting looking as the original one, but hey, you know, I'm sure it's perfectly acceptable for doing what it needs to do. So, first thing we need to do is use the vinyl stickery things to put a sticker on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that back in a second. So as you can see, that's those done, and as you can see, one fits kind of very neatly around the hole, the other one is way off, but I guess that's just the way that the holes are fitted in the arm, and I'm sure that that won't matter in the long run. Next, we need the forearm. Where is the forearm? Here it is. One forearm. Right, I'm going to have to zoom out so we can see what's going on. Alrighty, let's refocus. One forearm, one bicep, and we take one right hand section and we fit, I believe this fits onto here, yes indeed, and we take one of the screws, one of the EM screws, and I'm assuming that we use the new screwdriver for this, but I'm not entirely sure if it's just because these are larger heads or something, maybe, perhaps. But you can kind of see how the whole thing's going to work there. This is good, we like this. I can see myself having to take this apart and tighten up these. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that with the lower one as well. But that's fine. We can do that. It's not a problem. I can do that off camera. It's just a matter of tightening it up. Next, we take this strange little plastic part that I wasn't sure what that was about, and we take the shoulder joint. We put Mr. Shoulder Joint in here like so, and we take little plastic part and it fits in like I see, that fits into there, that fits into there, there we go, and then two more EM screws, I'm guessing. Yes indeedy. We can see there we've got the shoulder joint with the poppy slidey springy bit. So that's fastened to there, that's fastened to there. Next, I am assuming, is the other side of the upper arm, and indeed it most certainly is, like so. And then I'm guessing another two EM screws secure this into here. Like so. I can tell you right at this point that this new screwdriver is not the best quality screwdriver in the world, so do proceed with caution when tightening screws into metal. Some of the chrome plating's already coming off the crosshead of that, so not super duper happy with that one. You can see there the sparkly, that's the plating on the screwdriver. That completes this episode. Marvelous. That was a completely unintended pun. There you go, look at that. So we've got an upper arm with a swivelly shoulder joint and a swivelly elbow joint and a swivelly wrist joint, which also needs tightening, as you can see, and opposable fingers and a repulsor. Episode 13, or issue 13. We have got a decorative plate, which obviously goes there. We have got a pin, we have got a spring, and we have got a metal flexy thing, which I suspect is something to do with the springy bit here, up here. We will of course find out very shortly. Indeed, shoulder support it's called, that one. Right, so first thing we need to do is take this bit and simply snap it into place like so. Finishes that off nicely. Marvellous. Next thing we need to do is we take this, we fit this like so. Oh, I see how this is going to work. That's going to be sprung like that, that's going to be sprung like that, and then the actual shoulder pod unit bits are going to sit on there somehow. And we take the metal pin thingy-my-bob that slides through the holes. Does that go through a certain way? Because that's a very tight fit, which is not a bad thing, but I wonder if it fits a certain way. Might be tapered slightly. Of course it might not be. Maybe it's just that's tight fit through there. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's okay. We know what we're at, we know where we're at, it's all good. So just a slightly snug fit, which is again no bad thing. That goes through like so. And I have completely forgotten to put the spring in, and infuriatingly I think I've installed this black bit the wrong way around, because it has got a little slot in which is for placing this spring onto. It didn't make that very clear in the instructions. It's quite feasible, of course, that I just glossed over that and didn't read it. So there is that. And it seems that that bit has to go on that side where this slot is. So I'll be back in a moment when I've taken all that apart and refitted it in the correct orientation. We're back after fitting that absolutely perfectly correctly first time, of course. Pfft, don't be ridiculous, like I put that in wrong. And we get the pin and the spring, and we need to pop the pin into the arm socket thusly. We need to place the spring, hopefully you can see this, thusly. I'm trying to do this in such a way that you can see how this meshes together. There's a little slot in that black sort of H-shaped piece, and this bit there's a little slot in also. So maybe easier if I actually put the spring into here. So this shaped part of the spring goes into this little notch. This then goes into here, and then this pin passes through the spring and the arm, with them all perfectly aligned in their own little respective notches, like, come on, be good, be good, be good in your notches, buenos noches. That's not what that means, is it? No, my Spanish is not great, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. There we go, and that's it doing its thing. So you can see there, you've got a little notch there, you've got a little notch there, you've got the spring in those notches, and flexy flexy, springy, bouncy uppy downy, springy flexy. Marvellous. And that is where we are at. And again, we've got a little kind of explodificated diagram showing how that whole flexy springy boingy bit works. So that's the end of that one. Oops. So we're back with episode 14, issue 14, or whatever you want to call it. And in this one, we've got the massive, massive, great big shoulder pad. And frankly, this is so big it would not look out of place on an episode of Dynasty. It's huge. Showing my age a bit there. So, in this issue, we have, in this episode, in this magazine, in this, whatever you want to call it, we've got GM screws we're screwing into metal. They are a type with a big fitted washer. So we will get 2 of those out because we have 3 in the packet, which tells me that we are going to be using 2. We have two great big shoulder paddy bits which are going to very obviously slot together in exactly the same way that which other bits did that we've built already? There's another bit that did that where you've got two bits that kind of hinge together. I can't remember what it was, but I know we've built one already that's like that. So anyway, yes, we've got 4 caps which obviously go into the joints and what have you like that. These are great, but the problem with these is if you ever need to undo any of these, I kind of worry about how on earth do you get these out without damaging them. Tricky one. Apparently we should have some other screws, which I didn't see. Bear with me, I'll be right back. That was close. It's a good job I read that. We have IP screws. Intellectual property, Internet Protocol. IP freely, I don't know. We have IP screws. And we have 3, so I'm going to remove 2 because my spider sensors are telling me that we're going to need 2 out of the 3 that they give us. So yes, we've got 2 shoulder pivots, 2 shoulder caps, 1 inner shoulder, 1 outer shoulder, some GM screws and some IP screws. So the instructions tell us the first thing we do is locate the divot marks. They go to the outside of the shoulder joint, and we take this bit with these curves which go this way around, like so. Okay, actually this is not bad. This is not bad because these caps actually secure this in place, which means that the likelihood of having to remove these is slimmer than Kate Moss, so that's good. So make sure, double check, make sure that's the right way. That is indeed the right way round. There's a little tab sticking out of that, which hopefully you can see there, and that corresponds with a little tab on there, like so. So it fits in and doesn't move. That goes through there. We then use a GM screw, which has its own built-in little washer, and that fits into here, securing those 2 together. I'm guessing they need to be reasonably loose because they will need to kind of swivel with each other, so I'm not going to over tighten those. And this into here, so we're doing exactly the same on this side, same procedure. Until I know for certain what's what, I'm not going to put these caps in. So that's that bit. That's the swivelly shoulder, big shoulder pad joint, Dynasty shoulder pad. And next we offer up the arm, and underneath here you can see there are 2 divoty bits for the screws to go into, which obviously locate into here like so. So if I fold that right round there, I'll just double check and make sure I've got this the right way round. So that's going to be the outside of the shoulder, like that. Going that way, yeah. Okay, so this is going to go into here like so. Okay, that's looking good. And obviously I'm going to need to hold that in place until I get, until I get one of the screws in. I'll put the upper one in first actually, because that will then take less strain on the spring to hold it open. Fantastic. Oh, yes, look at that. Oh, we like this. Look at this. Superb. And then, of course, the springy up and down bit and the flexy in and out bit. And then we've got these. Oh, this is good. This is good. We're liking this. So, yeah, excellent. So what we've got here is an entire arm. I've got these two plugs, and I'm not going to put those in just now until I can get to a point where I've got this kind of mounted. And I can see if how that's going to fare on the actual shoulder when we've got this in a shoulder. Look at the size of that. It's so good. So good. And the more that you build on this and the bigger it gets, the more impressive it looks, the more you realise how big this actual armour is going to be. I mean, that's fantastic. Let me just get... Look, I mean, look at that. That's the right arm. That is a full... nigh on 30 centimetres or 12 inches, 1 foot in length for the right arm. That's impressive. That's impressive. We like that, and it's shiny and it's cool, and it's got a repulsor in the hand. How good is that? That is good. That's excellent. So that is issues 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14, and that's where we are at. And just quickly focus on this, and again we've got the exploded diagram showing exactly where we are with the kit so far. So we've got a right foot, a helmet, a complete right arm, and what else? I'm sure there's something else. Because there was something with this sort of an arc reactor. So what was the other bit that we did the double swivelly thing on? Could have sworn we've done a double swivelly thing similar to this shoulder. Or am I imagining it? I don't know. How bizarre. But I was sure we had. I don't know. I'll have to look back through the magazines. So that's where we are at. And for those of you who do like to see what's in the magazines, I'm just going to do the final end of the video bit where I flick through very, very briefly the magazines. So let's zoom out slightly. Whoops, that's the wrong way. Zoom out by zooming in. So we have got, focus on the magazine. Issue 10, Iron Man versus Whiplash. Whiplash! Of course, Iron Man 2, which had the second coolest Iron Man suit, which was the Mark V suitcase suit, closely followed, closely following the coolest Iron Man suit, which of course is the Mark III, which is this, which is amazing. So all the fanboys of the later suits, you know, it's all good, it's all fine and dandy, but the Mark III is where it's at, the Mark V right behind it, because let's face it, who wouldn't want a suitcase suit? Iron Man versus Whiplash, War Machine, big cannons, and arming the suit with hammer tech and drones and electric whiplashery and all that good stuff. And then Power of the Whip, which is obviously the cartoon version of Whiplash, and that's kind of got a bit of a Vega from Street Fighter vibe. Is that in focus? Hopefully that's in focus. Anybody remember Street Fighter, the game? I mean, I wasn't into video gaming, but I had a friend who was heavily into Street Fighter. Loved it. Thought it was the best thing ever. And Vega, the one with the Wolverine claws and the face mask, that kind of reminds me of that. Anyway, there you go. So that's that. And 11, the Silver Centurion. I don't know why I said it in that voice. I literally don't know anything about the Silver Centurion. James Rhodes in an Iron Man suit, but in a red and gold Iron Man suit for some strange reason, talking to Hawkeye. And who thankfully didn't wear that silly costume in the films, because frankly, let's be honest, that would have been silly. Cartoony stuff, buildy stuff. Carol Danvers, The Power of Friendship. Carol Danvers, that's Captain Marvel, isn't it? Of course it is. So yeah, that's cool. Also a great film. I really enjoyed that. I think it's one of the kind of unsung heroes of the Marvel franchise universe thingamabob. I really liked it. Model 8 gold is out, silver is in, the Silver Centurion. Magazine 12, Iron Man Armour Wars, and we have got Tony Stark with a really dodgy perm and 70s stash. I'm not sure what's going on there. Come on, man. That's all a bit yeah, bit Johnny Holmes and everything, you know. It's a bit anyway. Yeah, we've got Captain America hurling his mighty shield at Iron Man, wearing what looks like a black and red suit. I don't know what that's all about. I always thought he had the very Captain America blue suit thing. And we've got Iron Man in sort of silver armour with a triangular arc reactor thing. Stark brand, ideas from the future. And we've got some... Oh, a flying car. We've got a flying car. That's amazing. Wolverine and Susan Storm drive Nick Fury's flying car. Another Stark invention of Age of Ultron 6. That rocks. That looks like a Lamborghini Miura as well, which is even cooler. So, yeah, we like that. We like that. We like that a lot. Is that Spider-Man or Venom? Iron Spider armour. Okay. More cartoony stuff. Model 9 reborn in red and gold. So that's obviously going away from silver back to the red and gold armour. Episode 13 Galactic armour, which looks a little bit odd, a bit more bubbly headed. Cartoony stuff. Tony Stark still with his dodgy perm and tash, looking a bit like Professor X in a floating chair. And the buildy bits. Magic or Science, Iron Man and Thor. Cartoony bits. Some more cartoony bits. Captain America and his mighty shield. Thor and Iron Man. And who's this guy? He's a bit Thor looking with a hammer, but he's also a bit green. I don't know who that is. Comic book guys, you'll probably know who that is. But yeah, I don't, so there. Okay, 14. Number 14, War Machine. Now, of course, we all know War Machine from the movies, the silver suit, which, of course, was the Mark II silver suit, which James Rhodes purloined at Tony Stark's party and sodded off in, and then had it all sort of armoured and whatnot. Cartoony stuff, buildy stuff. More cartoony stuff, Doctor Doom, recognise Doctor Doom. And a weird time cube thing going on down there. Don't know what that's all about, but apparently it turns your legs into dotted lines. Marvellous. Doctor Doom and Iron Man. Adventures in Camelot. Okay, so this must be a time travel-y version where Iron Man and Doctor Doom end up in medieval England and at Camelot for some bizarre reason. Legacy of Doom. Again, obviously to do with Doctor Doom. And more cartoony stuff. Oh, War Machine. Which does look kind of cool, you've got to admit. All the big huge guns and big bulky shoulder pads and all that kind of thing. It's pretty cool. We like that. And that is the end of that. So that is magazines 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. That is the result of said magazines, excepting the plugs, which I'm not fitting until I know how loose I need to make that. And that is where we are at in the build. So at this point here, we say thank you for watching. If you like that, give us a thumbs up. Right, thanks, Iron Man. So, if you liked it, hit that thumbs up button. If you thought it was rubbish, hit the thumbs down button if you like. You know, please let me know. Give me some feedback. Tell me what you think. Ask any questions. If I can answer, I will answer. Correct me on anything that I have said mistakenly, because I'm not a comic book person. I loved the movies. I only know little bits from the comics, but hopefully you enjoyed that. So join us for the next exciting set of buildy bits, where we are going to be building something other than the right arm. But what, I don't know. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.